The rifle's crack was sharp, a final sound cutting through the dense silence of the pines. I lowered my bolt. 22. The scent of gunpowder and pine sap filling my nostrils. At 15, this solo hunting trip was my rite of passage, a test of self-reliance in the vast mountains. I de-hiked with my father since I could walk. I was scanning a rocky outcrop for the grouse I'd been tracking when it happened. A primal instinct, older than reason, made the fine hairs on my arms stand up. I wasn't alone. Slowly, my heart hammering against my ribs, I turned. 50 yards away, at the edge of the tree line where shadows congealed into solid darkness, a figure stood. It was tall and unnaturally thin, a ragged silhouette against the sun-dappled firs. It wore a long, tattered coat, the color of shadow, and a wide-brimmed hat that hid its face. But I could feel its gaze, a physical weight, cold and assessing. It made no sound. The forest, usually alive with the scuttling of squirrels and the whisper of wind, had fallen into a profound, watchful hush. It was the silence of a held breath. My grip on the rifle tightened, my knuckles turning white. My first frantic thought was of another hunter, but the shape was all wrong. There was no gear, no bright orange vest for visibility, just that gaunt, menacing stillness. I tried to call out, but my throat was sealed shut by a fear as solid as ice. The figure took a step forward. Its movement was wrong, to a gliding, disjointed motion, as if its joints didn't bend like a man's. It didn't crunch the twigs and needles underfoot. It just advanced, silent as a shadow stretching at dusk. Cold, sharp adrenaline flooded my system. Every ghost story from the mountains, every campfire tale of things that watch from the woods, crashed into my mind. This was no lost hiker. This was something that belonged to the deep, old parts of the mountain. Something that my rifle, my symbol of control and skill, felt utterly useless against. My hands shook as I brought the rifle to my shoulder. I peered through the scope, my own breath fogging the lens. I centered the crosshairs on the figure's chest, a target as clear as any paper bullet. But as I did, the figure stopped. A long, pale hand emerged from the tattered sleeve. Slowly, deliberately, it rose to point not at me, but past me, up the steep, rocky slope to my left. The meaning was as clear as it was terrifying. Asterisk. Go. That way. Asterisk. Just then, a branch snapped loudly from the direction I had come. The spell broke. With a gasp, I scrambled backward, then turned and ran. I didn't look back. I clawed my way up the sharp incline the figure had indicated, rocks skittering away under my boots, the rifle a clumsy weight in my hand. I didn't stop until I burst out onto a familiar fire road, my lungs burning, the afternoon sun blinding me. I risked one glance down into the valley I'd fled. It was empty, just a sea of green, looking silent and innocent. I never told my parents. They'd just blame it on an overactive imagination, but I knew. I'd passed a test that day, but not the one I'd intended. I learned that the mountains held more than just game, and that sometimes the most dangerous thing you can aim at is something you cannot possibly understand. The 22 was locked away in my closet after that. I had no desire to feel its cold weight in my hands ever again. What do you think was out there? Let me know your theories in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy stories from the strange side of life, make sure to like and subscribe for more.